Goofing around before going to the WW1 front, 1914. My great-grandfather goofing around before he headed to the front. He died on his first day of combat, just 4 days after he was mobilized via Reddit, you enraged elephant. Undine Rising from the Waters 1880 by Chauncey Bradley Ives. According to medieval lore, Undines were Mediterranean sea spirits who lived as soulless mortals. In the 19th century, this story gained prominence through Baron Heinrich Karl de la Montfouque's popular novel Undine, in which a water spirit gains a human form and soul by marrying the mortal knight she loves. When her husband proves unfaithful, the laws of the water spirits force her to kill him. Chauncey Bradley Ives depicts the moment when the mournful Undine, cloaked in a white veil, rises like a fountain to claim her husband's life. Exquisitely rendered, the diaphanous wet drapery is a masterful example of illusionistic carving. Yale University Art Gallery. Belgian coal miners crammed in an elevator at the end of a long day of work. 1900. A teacher teaching the physics of surfing, California, 1970. Woman going through an attitude adjustment program, 1,930 seconds. Women suffering from depression or demonstrating signs of misbehavior, such as not taking proper care of her husband, were legally encouraged to submit into a psychiatric ward. Here, the narrow-minded 1,930 seconds would offer a smiling treatment used to condition a woman into always wearing a smile. Experts believed that if a woman saw herself smiling, it would become natural practice and she would be cured. This often went along with shock therapy. Corporal Jackie was a baboon in the South African Army during World War I. He was the official mascot of the 3rd Transvaal Regiment when his owner, Albert Marr, was drafted into war and would not leave Jackie at home. He asked his superiors if Jackie, too, could join the army, and they said yes. So Jackie was given an official style uniform with a cap, a ration set, and his own pay book. Jackie would salute to superior officers and light soldiers' cigarettes. He would even stand at ease in the style of a trained soldier due to his heightened senses. Jackie was useful to sentries on duty at night. The baboon would be the first to know when an attack was coming or enemy soldiers were moving around nearby. Jackie and Marr survived a battle where the casualty rate was 80% in Delville Wood. Early in the Somme campaign, when Marr was serving in Egypt, he was shot in the shoulder at the Battle of Agagia, February 26, 1916, while Jackie was with him. Licking the wound as they awaited help, Jackie was given his own rations while with the army and ate them with his own knife and fork, as well as his own washing basin. When the regiment was drilled and marched, Jackie would be with them. Jackie spent time in the trenches in France where he tried to build a wall around himself during extreme enemy fire. But a piece of shrapnel from an explosion flew over the wall, hitting Jackie in the leg and arm. When stretcher bearers tried to take Jackie away, he refused, desperate to finish his wall and hide. Doctors treated Jackie's wounds, but they decided his leg had to be amputated and were surprised that he even survived. Jackie was awarded a Medal of Valor for the event of his injuries and promoted from private to corporal. After the war was over, Jackie was discharged with papers and went back to South Africa. He tragically died in a house fire in 1921. A couple take a mirror selfie together, 1,940 seconds. A young boy takes a final puff of his cigarette before facing the consequences after he stole his father's car and crashed it, 1974. Michelangelo's Moses is a marble sculpture made in 1513-15. One of the many details of this masterpiece is one very small muscle in the forearms that contracts only when lifting the pinky. Otherwise, it is invisible. Moses is lifting the pinky, therefore that tiny muscle is contracted. Giorgio Vasari in the Life of Michelangelo wrote, Michelangelo finished the Moses in marble, a statue of 5 braccia unequaled by any modern or ancient work. Seated in a serious attitude. He rests with one arm on the tables, and with the other holds his long glossy beard, the hairs, so difficult to render in sculpture, being so soft and downy that it seems as if the iron chisel must have become a brush. The beautiful face, like that of a saint and mighty prince, seems as one regards it to need the veil to cover it. So splendid and shining does it appear, and so well has the artist presented in the marble the divinity with which God had endowed that holy countenance. The draperies fall in graceful folds. The muscles of the arms and bones of the hands are of such beauty and perfection, as are the legs and knees. The feet were adorned with excellent shoes, that Moses may now be called the friend of God more than ever, since God has permitted his body to be prepared for the resurrection before the others by the hand of Michelangelo. The Jews still go every Saturday in troops to visit and adore it as a divine, not a human thing. The English translation of Sigmund Freud's The Moses of Michelangelo also provides a basic description of the sculpture. The Moses of Michelangelo is represented as seated. His body faces forward. His head with its mighty beard looks to the left. His right foot rests on the ground, and his left leg is raised so that only the toes touch the ground. His right arm links the tables of the law with something that looks like a book in the right palm of his hand, with a portion of his beard. His left arm lies in his lap. The attention to detail is impeccable. Jewish German army soldiers celebrate Hanukkah on the Eastern Front, 1916.